Aloha. So yesterday I had a friend of mine, an online friend of mine, who has a fairly profitable online video show about off-grid living, get locked out of her account, and it was over something so piddly. Um, Google locked her out of her account. They had a online, well, they had a, well, you know what Google is. It's an online thing. But and they do all have all sorts of services, and it's all interlocked and intertwined and whatnot. Anyway, so they ran some security checks, wanted to make sure people were who they were, and they requested some second, what do they call it, two-factor authentication. That's it. So the number they picked was a number she no longer had, that she only briefly used, and they wanted her to use that. She went through every single channel she possibly could to make this work. She can't make it work. Now her online show is, well, greatly compromised anyway. So this is a matter of income for her and while she'll live. It's just an example of the sci-fi theme of the machines taking over, where the machines just get so out of control that humans just can't make it. So take that for what it is. It's not the biggest thing in the world, but it's one thing. It's one thing. Now, like I've said before, it's been 162 years since the last Carrington event. They happen every 150 to 200 years. So now we're in the zone for that. So that's just one thing, and maybe not, but that's one thing. Then you've got the current medical scare, and also the forced medical treatments that are associated with it. And the powers that be, even though they're in power, it's like they're ready to crash economies. And we've got cargo ships backed up off the coast of California, and that's another end game. I can see prices going up. I went to check on the notebooks that I used for my logbooks, my survival logbooks and daily living logbooks, to keep track of how I'm living my life, to make sure I'm getting it all right. I use Mead 5-star notebooks, and guess what? They're like $10 a piece on Amazon. It's a notebook. These things used to cost $2 at Walmart, and now they're 10. That's a 500% increase. That's absolutely crazy. But that's another route to disaster, is inflation, right? Okay, now let's go past that. Let's say that we do get a solar flare. What would happen is all the cities would burn. I've mentioned that. So that's another route. But also at that, that would trigger the Kessler Syndrome. The Kessler Syndrome is if the satellites start to collide, there will be more collisions, and all the space around Earth would then be unusable satellites. So you've got that, and that's another thing. Let's see, what else can we go into? Let's say that the forced medical treatments do not work the way they're supposed to work, and suddenly a bunch of people start dying. That's another route to disaster. Anyway, you keep going down this list. What I'm saying is that in nature, everything works together, and everything works together to be in harmony. As humans have built and built and built, we haven't built with everything else in mind. And the things we've done haven't been for everything to work in harmony. It's for a certain person or group of people, small group of people, to profit at whatever means necessary. It's not meant to be, the systems we have set up have not meant to be harmonious. And this gets back to the whole issue of the lady losing her Google account due to a small, basic, poorly written program, or whatever it was. This program chose this old phone number instead of her current phone number, and therefore she's locked out. Okay, it's not meant to. This isn't really, Google doesn't do what they do for her benefit. They do it for their benefit. So helping her out isn't to their benefit. Going through all the trouble of unscrewing what they did isn't to their benefit. So it's not going to happen, I would expect. So this is the thing, and this goes for all the systems humans have put in place. They're meant to benefit just a few people, and eventually this is going to go wrong. It's not going to work. So and all of these things are coming to a head right now. So what I'm saying is stay on top of your preps. What I'm saying is stay on top of whatever plans you have to survive. You're probably going to need them soon. In the next, 5 years or so, I think things are really going to start heating up. And I haven't even gotten into like war with China and Russia or EMPs or anything like that. There's this list of things that could do it is very, very long, and they're all coming to a head in the next 5 years or so. So with that in mind, make sure you're staying on top of things, and stay positive, because there's a lot of things that could bum you out. Anyway, aloha.